live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Winnebago County leaders discuss a program that helps people with behavioral health issues. The Crisis Co-Response Team is credited with de-escalating crime scenes.
Illinois troopers get state funding to crack down on car thieves. Police will soon have more resources to track down suspects.
A state line event is selling children's clothes at a discount. Some of those who attended the sale received a special gift.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Tom Lewis. Thank you for joining us.
It's been 3 years since a program started in Winnebago County that gives people with behavioral health issues resources and keeps them out of jail.
Now tonight it's up for renewal. Jess Lipson joins us now with more on the Crisis Co-Response Team. Jess.
Tom and Mimi, the CCRT is designed to help bridge the gap between law enforcement and mental health patients. When first responders are called out to deal with certain mental health cases, a representative from Rosecrans will join them. This gives alternative mental health help that would otherwise not be provided. Members of the Crisis Co-Response Team will then work with the person providing help long after the emergency call was made. In 2022, Winnebago County Police had over 6,400 interactions with a CCRT member present.
Ultimately has a huge role in being able to provide an overall sense of wellness for the community, where otherwise maybe institutionalization was what happened, unfortunately, with only jail, hospitalizations, things like that. Now we can follow up with someone and hope to not have so many calls to service.
The CCRT is funded by the Winnebago County Health Board. On Monday, the Rockford City Council approved to renew the agreement. Tonight, it's the Winnebago County Board who is expected to also agree to keep the funding. Tom?
Thank you, Jess. Police departments are getting more funding to fight carjackings and car thieves. This morning, Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Janulius announced $21 million in grants. More than half of that will go to the Illinois State Police. The money will go toward license plate readers, helicopters, tracking devices, GPS software, and other technology.
We want people to know that license plate readers are out there. We're going to find you. We want people to know we have air ops out there. They're going to get eyes on you. They're going to find you. We want young juveniles that are considering getting involved in this type of criminal activity to know that we're looking at their social media. That's open source stuff. This is not secret information. We're correlating all those things to be able to build a case, and then sometimes very quickly from the time of a carjacking occurring to the time of an arrest, it can happen very quick.
More than 1,600 carjackings were reported in the city of Chicago last year, and that is the most in the nation.
The dark days of the pandemic may be over, but many businesses are still struggling with the effects of COVID. In response, the state is opening up another $175 million in back-to-business grants. It's the last round of federal money before the disaster proclamation ends in May. Small business owners say the help is still needed.
It's gotten better. I don't feel like we're out of the woods. This industry and in many other industries, you know, we're still affected on a daily basis, weekly basis by what's happened. People have just changed the way they operate in general because of COVID.
The amount of money a business can get is determined by loss of revenue and confirmed through tax records.
Some single-use styrofoam is closer to being banned here in Illinois. House lawmakers passed a bill yesterday that says retail establishments can't sell or distribute a disposable food service container that is fully or partly made up of styrofoam. The rule would take effect starting January 1st, 2025. The vote was 67 to 43. Some entities would receive an exemption for 1 year after the measure's effective date. The legislation now heads to the Senate.
Today marks the 13th anniversary of Obamacare. On this day in 2010, then President Barack Obama signed the Affordable Care Act into law. Its goal was to provide medical insurance to millions of Americans who don't have coverage because of pre-existing conditions and high costs. President Joe Biden was vice president then when the bill became law. He marked the anniversary with an event today at the White House.
I think most people agree the most consequential piece of health care legislation since the creation of Medicare and Medicaid in 1965. Even now, mega Republicans in Congress are intent on repealing the Affordable Care Act when it's clear it would have a devastating impact on the American people.
President Biden stressed that health care is a right, not a privilege.
Well, people looking to buy or sell gently used children's items have an extra incentive to visit a pop-up consignment shop here in Rockford. Just Between Friends opened a location on Morsay Drive for the weekend. It's an event put on twice a year. Parents looking to find clothing and other things for growing kids can also get help feeding their babies. The shop is partnering with Mead Johnson to provide visitors with free baby formula. The owner of Just Between Friends says there's a reason all of their items are new.
Our mantra, kids grow fast, and we have a lot of items. They still have brand new tags on them because the kids have grown so fast, and they're loved by lots of people, getting lots of gifts that we don't get to use. So it gives the family an outlet to get that brand new item, those gently used items, to the community.
Just Between Friends runs through Saturday. For hours and tickets, go to our website, mystateline.com. United Airlines announces plans to launch the first air taxi to O'Hare Airport.
United has partnered with startup Archer Aviation to offer the air taxi service. The small rechargeable aircraft would leave from Vertiport, Chicago, a facility located 3 miles west of the Loop. The ride to O'Hare would take just 10 minutes. That's far less than the usual trip, which can take up to an hour from downtown. The air taxi service is expected to be available in 2025. Republicans are blasting the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
Coming up, they are accusing the ATF of violating the Second Amendment.
We may have had some spring-like weather here earlier in the week, but it looks like we could return back to at least a brief winter pattern by the end. Look at our snow chances coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Republicans on Capitol Hill say the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is violating the Second Amendment with a new ATF rule that took effect this year.
Correspondent Alexandria Lamone explains what the rule is and why ATF and Democrats say it's needed for public safety.
Republicans are blasting the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, accusing ATF of violating the Second Amendment.
Ever since Mr. Biden took office, his administration has actively sought to infringe on this right.
Specifically, Republicans object to a new rule that applies regulations to pistol stabilizing braces.
Does the arm brace make the firearm more deadly? For example, does it turn a semi-automatic weapon into a machine gun?
It doesn't turn the firearm into anything. All it is an orthotic device.
The inventor of the brace said he created it to help disabled veterans use firearms. But Democrats say regardless of the intent, that device is now used to exploit or create loopholes to gun laws.
To allow owners to turn their weapons into short-barreled rifles, efficient weapons of war, without triggering traditional ATF oversight.
Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin says gun owners and sellers know about and advertise the use of stabilizing braces to make pistols more accurate and more dangerous while remaining easy to conceal.
Please play the video.
Does it really feel like a stock even though it's not a stock?
So you can put this guy obviously in a briefcase if you wanted to, in a backpack.
Republicans say the rule could turn Americans who already own the device into criminals overnight. But that would only happen if the owner fails to register it before May 31st. In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
The White House is said to be disbanding the COVID task force. According to the Washington Post, the task force will dissolve in May, the same month the public health emergency is set to end. The team was created 3 years ago under President Joe Biden. The move comes as COVID cases dwindle in U.S. hospitals. According to the CDC, COVID is responsible for about 2,000 deaths per week at this point, the lowest death toll since the start of the pandemic in March 2020.
A large amount of college students say they have considered stopping their studies because of emotional stress. That's according to an online survey from last fall. Just over 40% of adults surveyed said they considered withdrawing from school. That is up from 2021 and 2020. The survey found that the students most likely affected by stress are female or from low-income households. More students are reporting their problems with depression and anxiety, which increases the demand of campus counseling services.
Well, we had a rainy start to the day, but boy, the sunshine came out this afternoon. It's beautiful.
Yeah, nice finish to the day. When we come back, Candace shows us the next storm system on its way here, and it might include some early spring snow. That's next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we've had a little sunshine kind of poke through here this afternoon. A little cloud cover to the south. We take a live look with our SkyTrack camera down in Rochelle, where the clouds a little thicker than they are up to the north, but our temperatures have made it back into the 40s, upper 40s in a couple of spots. Those numbers will drop down on either side of 30 here as we go through the night tonight. Satellite radar shows things are pretty quiet after a couple of rain showers came through. You see a little thicker cloud cover there right along that Interstate 88 corridor. All of this streaming in with a rather strong jet stream coming in from the southwest. That will be our next storm system that comes through late tomorrow evening, but our conditions stay quiet here through the night tonight and into most of our Friday. Temperature is now at 47 in Rockford, 45 in Rochelle, 46 down in Sterling. Our weather watcher Jim this last hour at 49 degrees. Relative humidity sits at 45%. Just a little bit of rainfall here earlier today. 45 the last hour for our weather watcher Terry down in Genoa, and Ben in South Beloit checking in just before 5 o'clock with 46 degrees. Temperatures in the 40s right now will drop down to about 29-30 degrees, so a little cool tomorrow morning. Our winds will stay light, but the wind will pick up going into the afternoon tomorrow. I think we see plenty of sunshine, or I shouldn't say plenty of sunshine. We see sunshine kind of like what we did today, filtered out by a little bit of cloud cover, but those clouds will increase during the late afternoon and evening. We stay dry through about 7 or 8 o'clock. Once we get to that time, we start to see some rain showers begin to pull in from the south as that next low pressure system, thanks to that jet stream off to the west, kind of works closer to us. It pulls in quite a bit of Gulf moisture with that. So we've got a lot of moisture to work with this next storm system. So this starts out as rain going into Friday night, but as we near the midnight hour, we'll begin to see a little transition over to a couple of snow showers. Then as we head towards the pre-dawn hours of Saturday, that's when I think we see a transition over to more of a heavy and wet snow, just by a process called dynamic cooling in the atmosphere. You get a lot of lift going with it low pressure, and so that works to kind of cool the atmosphere. So that will cool things down and allow that transition over to snow. It's a heavy and wet snow because our temperatures will be very close, if not just a little above freezing. So we've got to watch this as this occurs Saturday, because I do think there are going to be some impacts to our Saturday morning. Drive time, if you're going to be out, could be a little sloppy there Saturday morning. We'll hold on to some of these snow showers through at least the noon hour. Winds will be kind of gusty too from the north, and then eventually turn around to the northwest by the afternoon. Temperatures will stay in the 40s as we go through our Saturday, so a little cooler than where we've been these last couple of days. So low pressure developing down to the southwest comes very close to us here late Friday night. Saturday morning it'll be moving through northwest Indiana, but the track of this, something to watch here as we go through the next 24 hours, because if it goes a little further to the west or tracks a little further to the west, we might not see quite as much and could end up actually with some drier air wrapping in. But right now I think parts of southern Wisconsin, far northern Illinois hold the best potential to pick up on some accumulating snowfall, and at this point could be a few inches that comes down. We'll watch our temperatures. We've been in the 50s for the last couple of days, 40s here for this afternoon, so might not be quite as bad of an impact going into Saturday morning, but still could be slushy there. Likely we'll see an advisory issued for parts of the region going into tomorrow night. 29 degrees, that's where we'll head for the overnight. Temperature tomorrow, I think we get back up to about 48 for our Friday afternoon before that cloud cover comes back in. We're down to 40 on Saturday, keep with the 40s into next week, maybe able to squeeze out a 50 towards the end.
All right, thank you, Candace. Springtime snow, my favorite.
Reagan's in next with sports.
Free agency continues, and so does Ryan Poles. More on the Bears' newest addition coming up next.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
If you thought Ryan Poles was done with the free agent signings, well, I'm here to tell you that he isn't. Poles is adding depth and a special teams piece with the signing of linebacker Dylan Cole today. The former Tennessee Titan started in 8 games last season with 64 tackles. Some ESPN writers have named the Bears as the most improved NFL team during the first week of the new league year. Since last Wednesday, and with the addition of Cole today, Poles has signed 10 free agents and made a blockbuster trade with the Panthers for the #1 selection. The New York Jets have also been pretty active this offseason, and Aaron Rodgers is likely on the way there. And his new target could be wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. ESPN reported today that both the Jets and Beckham would like a signing to happen. The financials seem to be the only thing holding up this deal. Beckham took to Twitter earlier this month and said after working out for teams, he was offered $4 million. And that wasn't enough. But with the looming addition of Rodgers, it would seem that OBJ is on his way back to the Big Apple. And speaking of the Big Apple, our sights are set on New York City as the Madness resumes tonight with the Sweet 16. It's the calm before the storm right now at Madison Square Garden. There are 4 games tonight. Kansas State against Tom Izzo and the Michigan State Spartans. Then it's UConn and the number 8 seeded Razorbacks. That one is in Las Vegas. Tennessee and Florida Atlantic will take the floor at MSG. And to round out the night, it's a big one in Nevada, a 2021 Final Four rematch between number 2 UCLA and number 3 Gonzaga. What a slate we've got tonight. And wow, the Bulls did not look good last night, but we knew it wasn't going to be an easy win. Asking them to beat the Sixers twice in 3 nights is a bit unrealistic, and what a terrible start it was. Philly opened on a 17-0 run. Chicago was down big in the third when DeMar DeRozan started limping on defense. He left with a quad injury, and the Bulls get blown out by 25.
Give them credit, they played a hell of a game. They came out really hot. They played well, they got into us. We just, we struggled offensively to start and just could never find our rhythm.
We did a lot of adjustments, and it was tough. Joel, give credit to him. We were set on, getting the ball out of his hands, and he did it fast. And those guys made a lot of shots, threes that opened it up, and, they're getting the ball at the net. We didn't make shots early on, and before you know it, it's 23-1.
That's sports. We'll be right back.
Our first Warn Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've got a little cloud cover out there tonight. We'll keep our skies partly to mostly cloudy through the overnight, down to about 30 degrees, up to 48 for tomorrow afternoon. We're dry, but we are going to see the rain move in tomorrow evening, and that will likely transition over to a heavy and wet snow overnight Friday into Saturday with some accumulations possible. Temperatures right around 32. A little slushy there for Saturday. Cooler and breezy too. Highs near 40. We keep with the 40s going into next week.
Darn S word. All right. Thanks, Candace.
It'll be messy out there. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.